Township committees being videotaped and broadcast due to either technical reasons or topics for discussion that may be held in closed session pursuant to the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act. There may be interruptions in the videotaping of these proceedings, and this meeting will be aired on EHT TV, Channel 97, on Thursday, June 19th.
Thank you. Could everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Have a roll call, please.
Ellis?
Here.
Hudson?
Yes.
Paul?
Pauls is excused tonight. He's at his grandson's graduation.
Thank you. Rosenberg?
Present.
And Trevor.
I am here. We have no presentations this evening. We have Senator Paul Stina here this evening, and he's just going to give a little breakdown on our fair share housing.
Sure, thanks you, Mayor. We do have the fair share plan and the spending plan in front of you this evening. I recall the state legislature made some changes to the state affordable housing regulations, and so the township complied with essentially what the state recommended, the court recommended for the fourth round, they're calling obligation, which is 142 units. Those 142 units are in addition to the 1,000 units we settled with the court back in 2018 and the 763 units which were prior to that. So we have a total affordable housing obligation of 1,763 and 142, in addition to a rehab obligation of 164. Township is required by June 30th to adopt these things to demonstrate how they will comply with the affordable housing requirements, which the fair share plan does. 362 pages, which has been provided to you, which anybody would like to see will be on file with the township. Lays out a strategy of a mix of 100% affordable developments, some inclusionary zoning in some of the higher density Pineland zones, some rehabilitation in conjunction with the Atlantic County Improvement Authority, and lays out how we will provide zoning and opportunity to meet the obligation of affordable housing units. The spending plan is in conjunction with that and describes how we will assist through the Affordable Housing Trust Fund some of the projects come to fruition, because affordable housing generally has to be subsidized in some fashion because the demographics of the township and demographics of South Jersey as a whole generally don't allow for the construction of affordable housing without subsidies. And so township has collected money in the Affordable Housing Trust Fund over a number of years, and the spending plan then lays out how we will support some projects with some funding to help meet the affordable housing requirements. So this gets you in compliance with the regulations, protects you until 2035, at which time there will be another obligation from the state unless we have a different governor, which we're going to have this year. But this does get you protected and compliant with the affordable housing requirements as of June 30th, 2025.
Okay, good. So that'll take us through 2035, and any changes we make or that comes in, we'll just adjust accordingly.
Exactly.
While we have you here, is there anything else you'd like to say? About
Great to
anything?
be back in Anchorage Township.
Great to have you here.
Hang around.
Is that considered a third round compliance?
Yeah, well, this is the fourth, but we already never resettled for the third round for 1,000 units.
Yes.
You recall they wanted us to do like 2,200 units with the third round. We settled at 1,000. So that 1,000 is also included in the fair share plan, plus the 763 from the first and second rounds. Plus the 142. So. But remember, they are giving more flexibility with how to comply. So if you recall, we were going through that issue with mobile homes, which are just naturally affordable for a number of years. Previously, they would not allow us to include mobile homes. The fourth round, now they are giving more flexibility. So some of those mobile home units are able to be included. And if we ever have expansion of any mobile homes, we'll be able to include that too. So we did get some more flexibility with how to comply with the requirements in the fourth round as well.
Maybe they listen a little bit. We've given them our school-free reduced lunch numbers over the years. We've given them all kinds of information.
I think they did. I mean, I think that you recall that we were going back and forth with them specifically on mobile homes. I think we had in excess of 2,000 mobile home units, which are affordable. Yeah. And I think finally, when they were redoing the fourth round, they took it into account. So kudos to the township. And at least making your voices heard. They don't always listen, but once in a while they do.
That was remarkable. They even acknowledge there's mobile homes because it's a sizable number in this community versus other communities.
The 2,000 mobile homes that we have, we would be in full compliance.
Exactly, you would be if they had to be deed restricted, but if the mobile home unit owners, be deed restricted, then you could comply just through.
Fully, just for that.
And look at how we do with the MUA with bringing someone to the system
Yeah.
because it's not the old days with mobile homes and septic systems.
Yeah, exactly. Some of those are under
There's no way.
deed consent orders to get rid of the septics, and you see some of the mobile home parks tying into homes that are.
They are, so. Good, thank you.
And,
It's a complicated issue, and I know Jen gave us a breakdown earlier and did a great job, but thank you. It's confusing to a lot of people, and so you did a great job, thank you.
Thank you very
When
much.
she brought up mobile homes, I don't know how she brought that into the switch. I said, we've been trying it for years. But at least they're listening to a rational thought process of what's in our town.
Yeah, they did. I mean, that was the state legislature, so they did include it. So it's just the township being vocal about it and continuing to be vocal about it, and finally they listened.
And they're here. I mean, they can see it for
Same thing we've
themselves.
been talking about with Pinelands over the years. We get it, but we would like the opportunity to phase some of the growth in and not have to take it all at one time. And so, that those are some of the discussions that you try to have with the state as you're dealing with what you have to deal with in the township because it's a mandated growth area. And unfortunately, it takes time for them to get it sometimes. But
Decades.
at least we're getting somewhere.
We are, that's good, that's
Thank you.
positive, thank you. Mr. Friedman, we have ordinance 14. These are for public hearing.
Ordinance 14 is an ordinance providing for the acceptance of a deed of easement, conveying real property, dedicating a portion of Block 1316, Lot 15, to the Township of Egg Harbor for the purpose of constructing, improving, operating, and maintaining a 10-foot wide stormwater utility easement. The purpose of this ordinance is to allow the Township to construct, maintain, and improve this 10-foot wide stormwater utility easement, in helping to ensure the proper stormwater management and drainage in the area and support public infrastructure improvements. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the public that would like to address the governing body on ordinance number 14? Seeing none, can I have a motion to close the public portion?
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Ellis?
Yes.
Austin?
Yes.
Rosenberg?
Yes.
And Brummer?
Yes. Can I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 14?
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Ellis?
Yes.
Austin?
Yes.
Rosenberg?
Yes.
And Brummer?
Yes. I'm going to deviate from this, Mark, for a moment because I had told the chief I would put him up first.
Very good.
And I just looked up and saw him there and I forgot. So, chief?
Hi, good evening, Mayor, Township Committee, Senator. Different hat tonight. So the reason I thought it was important to come here tonight, obviously, was for the resolution that is on tonight's agenda for the roadway safety awareness and the 100 deadliest days, May 26th through September 1st, encouraging all citizens to support traffic safety initiatives and educational campaigns. This is an initiative through the New Jersey Association of State Chiefs of Police and the state's Division of Highway Safety, and obviously through NHTSA in there to, again, just keep the pressing upon the importance of safe driving. And I think we all know that 2024 was a deadly year here in Egg Harbor Township, let alone the rest of the state. And something, I was able to look at stats today, and I know Deputy Mayor, you had asked about this. So last year, during May of 2024, compared to our traffic enforcement efforts this year of May of 2024, our traffic enforcement is higher. I think it was 13% higher. And I've said before, and it's a fact, that traffic enforcement reduces overall traffic crashes and fatalities. Well, in May, so our numbers of traffic enforcement here in Egg Harbor Township were up, and what was down was our traffic crashes. So, so I'm happy to report that there was a increased activity as compared to last year at this time, and we see a reduction in traffic crashes. But now getting into the initiative, they did put out a video, and we did share that through our social media as far as hopefully getting everyone to change their behavior. And I say everyone, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to come up here, because I've seen it in my 26 years. There are people that don't buy into traffic safety because they see the people that are supposed to be role models, us, police officers, driving safely, obeying the law. I kind of want to impress that it is up to us. I mean, for people to buy into this, they need to see police mark units around, not just here in Egg Harbor Township, but everywhere. A couple things that recently I've witnessed for the John R. Elliott, when they dedicated the interchange to him, I had the opportunity to go up there on behalf of the family, and I drove our hero vehicle, and I made it a point, obviously, to drive the speed limit on the expressway. While at the same time, other marked units are blowing by me on the left-hand side. To me, that just sends the wrong message. And I'm seeing that, our citizens are seeing that. We have to have credibility, and that credibility starts with us. So we, police officers, need to change behavior. We need to start obeying the laws, especially when it's visible to our public. I know I'm not going to be very popular in my with some of my peers standing here and saying this stuff, but it's a fact. I was driving in a local area. I'm not going to identify the jurisdiction, but when you have police officers in marked units sitting at a traffic light with their cell phones jammed in their face, it just sends the wrong message. And again, it's up to all of us police officers to lead by example, because people are watching us. And there are some people out there that may push the envelope because they see police doing it, so we can do it. So that's why I'm basically up here just imploring, it's up to all of us to change our behavior, to adjust our behavior to make the roadways safer, because most of these fatalities are preventable. That's pretty much it. We put it out through social media. Our enforcement efforts are going to be stepped up this summer. I mean, it seems like we increase every year. We keep increasing our enforcement efforts. But this year we are increasing them. We are working with the Atlanta County Prosecutor's Office, who developed a kind of like a pilot task force for traffic safety, where you'll see Egg Harbor Township officers in other towns on certain times and locations join with other members, law enforcement agencies in the county, conducting traffic enforcement efforts. And you'll see neighboring agencies in Atlanta County and our town doing traffic enforcement. So you'll hopefully this summer, again, through traffic enforcement, hopefully through buy-in by the community and every one of us, we'll hopefully see reduction in crashes and fatalities on the roadways.
Well, I'm glad you said about the other towns coming in, because I know I've gotten calls, and I'm sure we all have, that when we see someone doing, an extra duty for traffic from another town, we get calls. Why is Absecon in our town? So there will be officers from other jurisdictions here, full power to pull people over and do whatever for these specific targeted traffic type issues.
That's correct.
All right.
So.
And Chief, I like the trailer out. It's in my neighborhood. It's the speed trailer, and that road's nice now. I won't mention any names. Maybe Mr. Ellis go down there all the time, but that speed trailer is needed, and I know we have a few of them. And if we can put them out on some of the roads, you probably got complaints out there, and I can tell you it's trucks and probably locals too. But the speed trailer helps. And the other thing, when we get to the resolutions, I'm happy personally to see our inner office thing with the prosecutor's office for one of our officers. I think we did it many years ago. I don't think we did it recently, but I think it's a good move.
No, Chief Pat Snyder with the prosecutor's office, it was kind of his idea to get it going. And there was obviously some resistance because we're all kind of pulling or challenged with our where to allocate our resources, but eventually we got buy-in from most of the municipalities in Atlanta County, and we're going to make efforts to
Well, I think it helps us in the long run too.
Yep. So,
In that hot case, they can help us.
and you talk about our speed signs and speed trailers. We are making efforts to acquire more of those because a township our size, we need them. Because we can't be, again, we get complaints in mayor and, we get the emails through the township's administrator for the complaints all around town, that someone's upset because of the speeding and unsafe driving. But we only have so many assets to deploy. But some of these speed signs and that message boards, they actually do make a difference. So we're trying to acquire more of them, and we'll hope to see more of them out this summer.
Well, I think the public generally doesn't know what that's doing other than registering speed. You don't know if it's recording or what it's doing, but it's working on that route.
It makes them slow down.
It's working.
Those some of those signs, and especially the ones that we're looking to purchase, they actually maintain the data, and we're able to pull the data to find out when speeding is times and days where speeding may be higher. So then we can put officers out there during those times to target those speeders. But again, that's a different type of tool that we hope to acquire. It costs money, but I think it's important for a community our size.
I think that's probably the biggest complaint we all get is people will say they're speeding in my neighborhood. Can we get speed bumps? Can we get the signs up? Can we have an officer sit here all day long? Which we all know that's not possible. But.
Sometimes the vehicles sound faster than they are, and I don't want to pick on the big yellow vehicles, but they're not speeding. They're loud. Trucks are loud. Okay, some cars are loud. So that's doing the job, and I see it all the time, and they're not going above the limit. I can't believe it since it's been out there. I go down that road and nobody's speeding that I see. Other than maybe Mr. Ellis.
Well,
That's our biggest, I know, that's the biggest complaint. Yeah.
Real quick, Chief, it's sad that we could build a car like Tesla and it could drive itself, and we can't do anything about cell phones. These kids and adults, I watched a young lady the other day, she's at the red light on her cell phone, light turned green, she did like this and took off. I wish we had a way that if you're on your phone, your car won't start. That's like the drunk driving thing, It's just sad that so many are using cell phones and not paying attention.
I know, but again, it's up to all of us to make that conscious effort to put the phone down. I mean, parents, again, do these young kids learn it from their parents? Again, I'm not perfect, and I know all of us,
Right.
cheat as far as that, but we just all have to change our behavior, and slowly but surely, we can reduce traffic crashes.
I think we should look at the high school curriculum before they get their permit. Make sure they have a class about this safety and all that stuff.
They do,
Yeah, I know. They one ear and out the other.
but
They listen.
but again, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Chief.
All right.
And it's Resolution 294, which will be coming up shortly.
Yes.
So we will address that, but yes. No, I agree. And you said, you've been saying for months that it starts with each one of us.
Every one of us.
So,
And we should drive like our daughters and sons are out on the roadway, and that we're driving in a way to ensure that they're going to get home safely.
absolutely.
So, all right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Friedman.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance 15, an ordinance providing for $5 million and authorizing the issuance of $4,750,000 in bonds or notes of the township for various improvements or purposes authorized to be undertaken by Egg Harbor Township. The purpose of this ordinance is to enable the township to finance various capital improvements, purchase equipment and vehicles through bonded debt while complying with the local bonding law. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address a governing body on ordinance number 15? Seeing none, can I have a motion to close the public session?
I'll make a motion.
Roll call, please.
Ellis?
Yes.
Hodson?
Yes.
Rosenberg?
Yes.
And Cromer?
Yes. Can I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 15?
A second.
Roll call, please.
Ellis?
Yes.
Hodson?
Yes.
Rosenberg?
Yes.
Cromer?
Yes. Ordinance 16, Mr. Friedman.
Ordinance 16 is an ordinance to amend the code of the Township of Egg Harbor, Chapter 165, entitled Parks and Recreation Areas, specifically 165-3, entitled Hours. The purpose of this ordinance is to extend the permitted hours of use for the lighted courts located at the MK Betterment Park until 11 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Is anyone in the audience here to address the governing body on ordinance number 16? Seeing none, could I have a motion to close the public portion?
Your motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ellis?
Yes.
Hodson?
Yes.
Rosenberg?
Yes.
And Cromer.
Yes, could I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 16?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Ellis?
Yes.
Hodson?
Yes.
Rosenberg?
Yes.
Cromer.
Yes. Ordinance 17, Mr. Friedman.
Thank you. Ordinance 17 is an ordinance amending ordinance number 5 of 2025, fixing the salaries of certain officials and employees of the Township of Egg Harbor for the year 2025. The purpose of this ordinance is to add a new position and salary range for the year 2025. Thank you.
Can I have a, is anyone in the public here to address the governing body on ordinance number 17? Seeing none, can I have a motion to close the public
Make a
portion?
motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ellis?
Yes.
Hodson?
Yes.
Rosenberg?
Yes.
And Cromer.
Yes. Ordinances for introduction.
Ordinance 18 is an ordinance.
I'm sorry.
Motion to adopt.
I'm sorry. Motion to adopt. Can I have a motion to adopt ordinance 17?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Ellis?
Yes.
Hodson?
Yes.
Rosenberg?
Yes.
And Cromer.
Yes. I shouldn't check it before I move on. Ordinance 18 for introduction, Mr. Friedman.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance 18 is an ordinance appropriating $1,900,000 and authorizing the issuance of $1,425,000 in bonds or notes or similar debt instruments to fund the construction of various recreational improvements to Tony Canale Park, to be funded with loan and grant monies received by the township from the New Jersey Green Acres Program. The purpose of this ordinance is to appropriate and issue bonds or notes to fund various recreation improvements at Tony Canale Park, to be financed through a combination of Green Acres loans and grant funding. The public hearing on ordinance 18 will be held on July 23rd, 2025 at 5 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to introduce ordinance number 18?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ellis?
Yes.
Hodson?
Yes.
Rosenberg?
Yes.
And Cromer.
Yes. Ordinance 19, Mr. Friedman?
Ordinance 19 is an ordinance authorizing the execution of an agreement for a tax abatement with Spencer Gifts LLC for the property located at 6826 Black Horse Pike, otherwise known as Block 2112, Lot 3.01. The purpose of this ordinance is to authorize the execution of a tax abatement agreement with Spencer Gifts for the property improvements, including the building addition, parking lot enhancements, a picnic area, solar panel installation in accordance with an NJSA 40A:21-1 et sec. And Chapter 201 of the Township Code. A public hearing on ordinance 19 will be held on July 23rd, 2025 at 5 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to introduce ordinance number 19?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ellis? Excuse me, Mr.
Yes.
Ellis?
Yeah.
Thank you. Hodson?
Yes.
Rosenberg?
Yes.
And Cromer.
Yes, and I have to say the Spencer Gifts building looks sensitive.
You did a nice job.
He did a great job out there. Ordinance 20, Mr. Friedman.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance 20 is an ordinance amending Chapter 225 of the Township Code entitled Zoning, specifically Sections 225-40.2, 225-5, and 225-7. The purpose of this ordinance is to clarify zoning designations, correct typographical errors, and update specific zoning requirements. The public hearing on ordinance 20 will be held on July 23rd, 2025 at 5 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to introduce ordinance number 20?
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Ellis?
Yes.
Hodson?
Yes.
Rosenberg?
Yes.
And Cromer.
Yes. We have a resolution consent calendars, numbers 270 through and including 301. And this also includes resolution 294 that the chief spoke about earlier. Does anybody have any questions?
No, like I said before, I'm happy to see their local service agreement with the county prosecutor's office. I think it benefits us tremendously that our department, as large as we are, has someone working there that can help us out if we have a significant case firsthand right at the time. And the second one is, I'm glad to see us going into an agreement with the county on this temporary traffic light. We could have used that thing on Mays Landing Road because as I travel the county into Hamilton, there's two working on that back road, culverting traffic, like replacing bridges, but we closed our bridge for 360 days.
Also, I'd like to say Chief doing a great job. The cars are very visible now. You see patrol cars, like I say, when people just see the car, they tend to slow down, and the guys are out there visible.
I think that's important.
I appreciate those comments, but it does take buy-in from our command staff. So Captain Sherry Bergen is who's overseeing. I mean, but the message it needs to be relayed down, and but that's a group effort for that to happen.
It's visible. It's good.
So
I know you're busy,
It's effective.
but
Well,
I know you're busy. I mean, it's priority. We don't stack calls. We got to do it. But to see them out there, and they're probably working on a computer on something else they're doing. But it's good. It's good in the areas of commercial properties.
it is.
It is.
And I did pass it down. I called communication, even called them for Father's Day. To wish all the working fathers happy Father's Day. And I always tell the captains about, the great job that the men are doing.
They are. They're out there working hard. And again, I have to say it. I mean, a couple of the things we're dealing with right now, as we speak, you talk about our assets and resources being, so we have two people in custody. One was taken into custody last night for a domestic violence and stolen motor vehicle case out of, the domestic violence occurred in our town. The stolen vehicle occurred at Caesars. I shouldn't have said that, but anyway, it occurred in Atlantic City. Turned out to be a pretty decent case. The person is detained on serious charges, but we're stuck guarding them at Atlantic City Hospital, and we're trying to navigate this just red tape system to try to. They're going to be detained in a health facility up in Trenton, but because of the nature of the charge, they won't transfer them to another facility locally, and we're stuck sitting with them for the next 24 or more, possibly up to a week. That's overtime,
So we're going to lose an officer for 24/7 for a week.
potentially. But these are the things that people don't understand behind the scenes. We're working with our prosecutor's office or the local municipal court judges to try to get a charge adjusted just so it saves the taxpayer money. That's number one. And then number two, at the same time, we're trying to take another person who's being charged on serious domestic violence charges, getting them into the county jail, only to be turned back by the county jail that they need to be medically cleared. And now we have another officer going to guard a prisoner until they get medically cleared. But these are the things that people don't see behind the scenes that are occurring day in and day out by our police officers. And then the other thing I did want to mention, the good part was, and I haven't had the opportunity to get out there, but I'm told that Dog Beach, the area of Ocean City, has been restriped. I don't know if it's completed, but I don't think we've had one complaint in the last couple of weeks
I know the
since
signs are-
Memorial Day.
Yeah.
The no parking
They
signs
did
are
some
all
work
over
there. I
out
don't think
there.
it's all done.
Well, they did the striping, but again, we talked about once the striping's done, that area will hopefully be off our radar because people are less inclined to park over that very visible bike lane parking or markings. So that's a long-term, something that started back last year, and you had to pass a resolution so Cape May could make efforts to start getting that plan in place to happen this year. And
It
so
was dangerous out there. It was very dangerous.
But
So,
anyway, takes all of us to work together to get these things going.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief. Anybody else have any comments on the resolutions? If not, can I have a motion to adopt resolutions 270 through 301?
I make the motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Ellis?
Yes.
Watson?
Yes.
Rosenberg?
Yes.
And Primer.
Yes. We have resolution 302, authorizing the payment of all bills. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Ellis?
Yes.
Watson?
Yes.
Rosenberg?
Yes.
And Primer.
Yes. We have two add-on resolutions that we discussed in work sessions, number 304 and 305. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ellis.
Yes.
Hodson.
Yes.
Rosenberg.
Yes.
And Furman.
Yes. We have some approvals. I have a motion to approve the departmental reports for the month of May. Can I have a motion, please?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion to approve the payroll for the month of May in the amount of $1,623,867.71?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Can I have a motion to approve the May 28th, 2025 Township Committee meeting minutes?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Township Committee reports. Mr. Rosenberg.
Mayor, having just gone through the experience myself, I want to congratulate the residents of Egg Harbor Township for once again participating in primary elections, whether Republican, Democrat, or Independent. I don't know how many people out there understand the importance of the primary in the overall election process. And I don't want to take the time now to explain the whole thing, but it does have an effect on how the system works later in the year leading up to the general election. And then again, and more importantly, next election cycle when the respective parties meet to decide their candidates and their votes and the structure of the party's actual committee. So it is more important than just showing up. It has a long-term effect, not just a short-term. So well done.
Thank you.
That's all, Mayor.
Mr. Hodson.
I think we talked about public safety. I want to congratulate our fire department. We had a very significant fire on the 11th at 2:45 in the morning. And also, as the chief just spoke about assets and requirements, we had to land a helicopter for a patient who had to be flown out of here. It was part of it. We had some firemen that had minor injuries, and we had I believe, a resident airlifted to Cooper or to Burn somewhere. And, you know, it ties up all our assets, and our community helps us, we help others. And, you know, it was probably one of the worst fires I've seen from the start. Usually when we get there, if there's a fire going, it isn't blazing out the windows like it was that night. So, you know, to our fire departments, I praise you, but we're lucky to have you. And whatever caused that fire, I'm not going there, but, you know, to have them break all fire apparatus to land for, I guess it was state police or whoever with the helicopter to take somebody to a burn center where they had to, you know, do that along with fight the fire. So again, our fire departments, we're blessed, and they do a hell of a job. And that's what the chief just talked about. It's very easy to say, well, what's that cop doing? He's not doing anything. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. Like the chief said, he's got to, I shouldn't say babysit, but put a cop on a hospital room because of injuries to incarcerate somebody that needs to be incarcerated due to criminal charges. So again, a lot goes on into the public safety, police, fire, and rescue. I know what you do, and my hat's off to you every day you're there doing it. That's all I got.
That's it. Mr. Ellis.
I'm trying to do a couple things because we have to realize we all are getting older. And I looked around and speak for yourself. We all get older. And I look around and I see the police are doing a great job, public works, fire, everybody's doing a great job. I'm trying to get with the fire department because if you think about it, we have ROTC programs in the school now. We had police explorers, now they call something different. We'd like to start something with firefighters up tomorrow. And we have to be knowledgeable of tomorrow. If you look at a lot of our workers and volunteers and stuff, we all have gray hair. You know, most of them have gray hair. So we'd like to get that started, Chief. Like I said, works aside of the explorers or whatever the name they are now, and try to get that into the high school as something to do too, because we need our future. And that's what I want to put emphasis on, trying to be, you know, bring these kids up and get them ready for that. And I know Committeeman Hudson, he'll sign up for the class. Anything with fire department, he's going to sign up.
Here.
He's going to be a volunteer.
Well, and also our volunteer fire department probably saves us anywhere from $15 to $20 million a year.
Yes.
If we had to have
gotta
it
keep
paid.
them in here.
So it's they're a huge savings to all of us in the township.
Depending on the time of the day, our response time's incredible.
Mhm.
Absolutely incredible. I listen to it all the time. I listen to a couple paid departments
Yeah.
in the area, I won't say who, but our response at 2:45 in the morning in the AM, Morgantown and Cardiff right away, it's remarkable. It's remarkable. And a lot of it has to do with previous committee members that pushed to get our chiefs and deputy chiefs vehicles. They're pickup trucks. They're red and they look like a fire apparatus. They were right there immediately. They could update the information along with the police officer. He's there too. He's probably the first guy there. What was going on, it was significant fire. So we're blessed, and our times were slow, but they were incredibly fast the other night.
Did you want to say something?
No, I was just going to echo the deputy mayor. So the public safety cadet program was so the Explorer program kind of went to bump. It was rebranded, so the cadet program is an opportunity. It's not just for police. It's for anyone that's interested in first responder future, so they can be part of that, and then as they're part of that program, they can decide what path they want to take, whether it's fire, police, EMS, dispatch. So,
Chief, now how are you getting that out to the young folks?
that's through our coordinator, Rodrigo Pimentel, and they do that through
Yeah, I see him very visible,
Yeah, I see
especially
he's
over the
very-
rec.
through social media, through all the recruiting.
Yeah, we just got to put the foot down and
Yeah.
get these.
No, he's doing a pretty good
He's
job.
doing a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see him everywhere. He's everywhere. I just have a couple things to say. First, it's belated Happy Father's Day to the 6 gentlemen up here, and plus you, Chief, and everyone listening, Pete, you too, and everybody else here, because I know all of you, and I know your families, and you are outstanding fathers, each and every one of you. You take the time, you have the patience, and you've got some darn good kids. So, belated Father's Day greetings, but you know what? We didn't meet before Father's Day, so I'm saying it after. We start our Concert in the Park series on 6/27 at Canal Park at 7 p.m. I can't believe we're here already for the summer concert series, but it starts, and the Morning Madness for the children starts on June 30th, and that's at the library. So we have some incredible concerts coming up. It's a great way to spend your Friday evening, and you can check the website for the Monday Morning Madness. And I also want to give a shout out to our high school and our graduates. We have 576 graduates this year. 81% are going on to college. It's a mixture of 4 years, 57% for 4 year, 24% for 2 year. 5% are going into the military, 10% are going to work, 4% are going to a trade school of some sort. They received $17.6 million in scholarships.
Wow.
So we
I think
just
that was
want.
a record, wasn't it, Mayor?
I think it might have been. But we have a great school system here, and we just want to say congratulations to each and every one of the graduates, and to the schools for 13 years, starting with kindergarten, getting these kids educated and out. So congratulations to everybody involved. And graduation, for the record, was Tuesday at 5. Graduation's been moved to 7:15 that evening because it's supposed to be 95 degrees and sunny. So they're hoping it's 94 degrees and not so sunny at 7 p.m. So I just got that notice before I came in here today.
That was a good move.
Yeah, it was.
It got ugly today. It's hot.
It's hot, and it's going to be, by Tuesday, it's going to be brutally hot. So it has been pushed back until 7:15. So I'm sure all the kids will come home with that, but if, people usually, this is also for traffic patterns when you go down English Creek Road. Now you know to push back a little bit later. And if you want dinner reservations, there won't be any left in Egg Harbor Township that evening, so plan accordingly. Tom, do you have anything you want to add?
Nothing to report, ma'am.
Mark, anything for you?
Nothing.
Nothing, all right. Is there anyone in the public that would like to address the governing body? Come on down, sir, and just give your name for the record. Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor, Committee, Senator, Chief. My name is David Cherry. I live in the 7200 block of Fernwood Avenue. I know all of y'all must have heard about a month ago I lost a child. I was in my care on Fernwood and Delaware Avenue. There any way possible that you can try to submit 25-mile-hour part, speeding on that road from Delaware, from Mill Road in Delaware all the way to, Ridge in Delaware. It's 35 miles. Can it be put down to 25?
Chief, I'm not sure that is governed.
Because you had the Bargaintown Park there.
You can do a study, and it's based on the amount of residential building per so many linear feet of road. So there's a statutory 35 mile an hour, statutory 25 mile an hour. My guess is that based on the development along Delaware, probably only meets a statutory 35, but the township could go out and take a look to see if it
Because
meets.
there's a lot of children that I lived there for 5 years, and just to try to get across by that park with these kids on their little bikes and e-bikes, 35 is they really doing 45, 50. No one's doing
You're right.
35.
No, so
If that
we
was the
can-
case, my
can
child that was in my care would never be deceased right now, because these stop signs and possibly a four-way stops. You have it on West Jersey, you have it on Mill Road. Delaware needs four-way stops. There's no four-way stops. They just fly by. You know, if you don't put it down to 25 four-way stop signs in each intersection, because they're just going too fast.
I tell you, we can look and see what we can do there. I know there's some laws that we have to obviously abide by, but if there's something we can do, if we can do a special designation or something because there's a park there.
Yes.
I don't know that, we know what the rules are on that, but I know the engineer and, Vince is our planner, but they know what the rules are, and so does the chief. So we can absolutely investigate that and see what we can do.
And also on Fernwood from Leap to Delaware, it's 35 on that, and there's no bike lanes. I'm doing construction. You can shorten the street, squeeze them in where they do 25, and because kids are walking in the street, there's nowhere for them to walk. The only blocks that have sidewalk is from 7200 block to the 7300 block. Other than that, I understand because houses are further back, there's no sidewalks, and people are walking, jogging into the streets.
In the street.
And it's dangerous because you have babies that's walking, mothers pushing carriages in the street. And they're doing 35. Like I said, they're not doing 35, they're doing 45.
Yeah, I've seen them, we've all seen them.
Yes, and I live there, and they fly by all night. I hear it in my house at night.
Tom, can we just take a look at this and see what we can possibly do?
Yes, ma'am.
Four-way stops, I like four-way stops, they stop people.
Yes, they do.
Most people, they stop, but they do work.
Yes, I know.
There's a mill in, what is it, it's mill?
Well, you got on West Jersey. West Jersey has it now.
Yeah, West Dade works very well there.
Yes.
And the people seem to be cordial at it. Where before, when it was one way, nobody's
Yes.
giving you a break.
They never let you get in. Yes, I know.
I guess it's not a bad term, cordial. They seem to let it work.
It works.
Now, originally, people were stacked up. Well, that's what it's supposed to do, but it's working.
Yes,
And one of the biggest successes was Mill and Ridge.
yes.
I mean, I remember, it was many years ago we did it. That wouldn't work. It's working like a charm.
So we need it on Delaware now.
And the flashers, so we know they gotta stop.
Yes.
You did put a speed trailer out there, and I'll have to check with Sergeant Stearns if that's a trailer that's recording the data, and we can see what the.
But you have it by the park, but nothing's coming from the side, from the Mill Road coming, what's that, coming east. You have it going west, I think it is, the speeds.
You want it on, you're looking at Fernwood Avenue?
Fernwood, you can put, if y'all can find some way to make it 25 miles, because it says 35 from Leap all the way up to Oakland. Oakland. It's 35, you know what I mean? But like I said, there's a lot of mothers, dog walkers, joggers. There's no sidewalk, so everybody has to walk and run in the streets. You know what I mean? And so it's really scary for that. My son wants an e-bike, and I won't even get him an e-bike because there's no sidewalks for him to ride.
How's your son doing? He was with him, right?
Yes, he was. And he's in therapy because, yes, we all have to go.
Condolences, and we're gonna see what we can do, because the last we wanna do is have another child, or an adult, I don't care who it is. We
Yeah,
don't want
no
another
parents
citizen.
have to bury their
They
child.
shouldn't. No.
And
From what I
I'm
saw,
hurting because he was in my care. He was in my care. And then for me to go to his mother and explain what happened, it hurts.
I can't even begin to imagine, but you have all of our sympathies. I know Ray was there to see the family.
Yes.
But,
Well, that's all I just like to see.
we will see what we can do,
All
what we
right.
can do by law, maybe what we can do, we can get a little creative and there are ways to do some things, we can see what we can do.
All right, thank you.
And real quick, another thing, I was at the repast and all that stuff. I've never seen that many kids attend something in the history of funerals. So he's very well liked. And I tip my hat off to Mr. Cherry because I've known him since he was a little duck. And I'm so proud of him and his family. His wife have a business and he's doing so great. I call him every week to check on them. Every week.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
I like that. Thank you for the time.
We're gonna see what we can do.
All right, thank you.
because, Yeah, especially if it's near a park, we don't want anybody.
Yeah, because there's a lot of kids
There's
that
a lot
come,
of kids.
they run across, it could have been anybody's child, and I wouldn't want to see no one's child get hit like that again.
No, never.
You know, and I'd like to thank the EMS workers, the police department that came out there and did what they could do for him. I appreciate it. The chief of the EMS, he was the first one on the scene, so I'd like to thank all that. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to address the governing body? Seeing none, can I have a motion to close the public portion?
So motion.
Second.
All in favor? Or, all in favor? Aye. Tom, do we have need for closed session tonight?
Yes, ma'am, it should be brief.
We heard that before.
Resolution 303, authorizing the Township Committee to convene a closed executive session to discuss matters which may involve personnel and/or legal matters. Whereas the Open Public Meetings Act permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas this public body is of the opinion that circumstances presently exist, and whereas the governing body wishes to discuss matters involving personnel and/or legal matters as follows. All legal matters: the Cygnus Creative Arts Center lease, anticipated disclosure 6 months; Garden State Billboard lawsuit, anticipated disclosure 1 year; and the potential lease of township property, anticipated disclosure 1 year. Whereas the minutes will be kept, and once the matter involving the confidentiality of the above no longer requires that confidentiality, then the minutes can be made public. Now therefore be it resolved by Township Committee, Township of Egg Harbor, County of Atlantic, and State of New Jersey that the public be excluded from this meeting.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to go into closed session?
So motion.
Roll call, please.
Ellis?
Yes.
Hodson?
Yes.
Rosenberg?
Yes.
And Cronin?
Yes.